What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to say thank you so much to each and every single one of you for helping to make this channel what it has become. And the channel does grow little by little, and that's all because of you. If you like what you see and you enjoy the content, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, and of course hit the bell to receive notifications. I do have an eBay store called the Carolina Collector 001, where I've been selling loose sports cards, graded slabs, various other items from time to time. Check it out. And also follow me at my eBay store as I do upload new listings regularly. Thank you so much, everyone across the board who has done so already. So, let's hop right to it. Me, Grimlock, our king! Me, Grimlock and Dinobot, strongest Dinobot of them all! That's my Grimlock impression. Yes, I suck. But what we're looking at right here is my upgraded Transformers Studio Series Grimlock. The resale on this guy, when he was first released, was just absolutely insane. If you didn't get your hands on him, you're probably paying 2.5 times what he retailed for. Thankfully, I got mine around the time when he was released. I believe I got him out in the wild, if I'm not mistaken, at one of my super Walmarts. But mine is completely upgraded for the Hawkeye. You're going to see that he has the clear chest plate. His dino hands are articulated, so I already did the swap on this guy up here. As you can see, we'll take a closer look at that when I get him into dino mode. He's got the closed panels right here on his forearms. He's also got the gap fillers on his feet. And when we get him in a dino mode, he's actually got front teeth. And I think that was it for the upgrades. Oh yeah, there's also one other thing we really need to get out of the way here. Yeah. What an intro for Wheelie. Yeah, we're not even going to acknowledge Wheelie, so let's just get Wheelie out of here. I actually did get an upgraded Wheelie. This is a third-party Wheelie. As a matter of fact, to replace that cursed piece of plastic right there, I swapped out the heads. So this is the original Wheelie head that came with Grimlock and with that piece of crap right there. This Wheelie does transform. I forgot who sold this upgraded Wheelie, but there he is in his Wheelie goodness. And what a huge improvement from that Wheelie right there. Now, as far as Grimlock is concerned, from what I understand and what I've been seeing around the interwebs here, they're going to be reissuing this Grimlock. Again, mine is fully upgraded, so apparently they're going to take Grimlock and just repackage him or rebox him in the original form, you know, for which I bought him at, like, and many of you bought him like. If you upgraded yours, you know what I'm talking about. But he is just amazing. He's got that very G1 accurate head sculpt. I always loved this head sculpt. When I saw this, I was like, wow. He does have full articulation on the head. Arms do, of course, go out. You got plenty of arm movement on ratchet joints. His elbows bend. Arms bend. Forearms bend. Fists bend. All that good stuff. Just like you would expect in a figure of this price range and caliber. He does have waist swivel. He's got the spread. He can kick forward, kick back. Got the knee bend, of course. And then he has the ankle pivot. So you can pretty much pose him any which way you want and any which way you see fit. You know, very fun figure. Very accurate to the G1 cartoon. Let's take a look at the third-party Wheelie. Again, I swapped out heads. The figure itself is a little loose, nothing some joint ooze couldn't fix or some furniture polish, but there is movement. You know, in the arms here, of course, you know, most of that's for the transformation, and the transformation is very simple. This sometimes has a habit of prematurely opening like this. That's just part of the transformation. But, you know, what do you expect from a third-party figure like this? And it is plastic. It is molded plastic. It is not 3D printed, which is kind of neat. So, you know, you do get spread, you got the knees, you have a little bit of an ankle pivot, but I think that's more for the transformation. You get the illusion of an ankle pivot. But otherwise, yeah, it's not a bad little wheelie figure to replace that monstrosity that Grimlock originally came with. And I believe the reissue is also going to come with that monstrosity of a wheelie. Of course, I stole his slingshot and added it to this guy right here. So let's get the two of these transformed. We're going to take a look at the two of them, and then we'll go on from there. Well, here are the two of them completely transformed. Now, I've never really been happy with this Autobot symbol. This is a third-party Autobot symbol I put on this wheelie. And I might do something a little bit better than this, because you could barely see it, even though you can barely see Grimlock's right there. I never quite like this one. I can always swap that out anytime. But this is Wheelie's transformation. The wheels are static. In other words, they don't roll. You know, they create the illusion that they roll, but basically he's like a UFO. But just keep in mind that if you do find this wheelie on eBay or Etsy, or I completely forgot where I got this from. Forgive me for that. But this thing could be very temperamental. It transforms in a very similar way to the Headmasters and Target Masters. It basically folds in on itself. So it's a very easy transformation. The only thing that's a little complicated is this section right here, where you kind of have to roll and twist things around. But I mean, compared to the static wheelie that Grimlock came with in the first release, and what they plan on releasing in the second round, I mean, Hasbro needs to do a little bit better on that, with that, as far as I'm concerned. But with the upgrades here to Grimlock, as you can see, my Grimlock's got the grabby hands because I upgraded mine. You know, I got the panel covers here, which tucks away his fists really well. You know, again, I got the clear panel here, which now becomes his belly. And he's got a new set of front teeth, as you can see right here, with this panel that you have to glue in. And it just looks so much better. Now, there is an upgrade, which I do have, to change this out to clear plastic. I don't want to do that. I don't like the clear plastic. I want to try to keep them animation accurate. The only issue I got with my copy is that sometimes the back doesn't want to close all the way. And sometimes I have to fidget with it to get it to close all the way, but that'll cause this to spring open. It happens sometimes with these Transformers. It's just the way they're molded, or maybe yours has been sitting on the shelf for a while. But regardless and despite that, I mean, he definitely has that cartoon accuracy to him. He looks amazing. But the grabby hands is what really does it for me. I love the fact that he can go, You tell Grimlock's story about chaos. Again, I can't do a good Grimlock impression. That's the best I got, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, he's just a really, really fun figure. He's got the head tilt. His head moves up and down like so. You can open up his mouth, you know, to get him to yap and all that kind of thing, so he can bite down on stuff. Of course, his feet do turn. And he's just an all-around fun figure. I'm very happy I got this when he was released. And if you held out and you didn't get one off of a third-party reseller or a scalper, good for you for being patient, because they're supposed to be reissuing this guy, which is really, really nice. So let's get him back into robot mode. I'll give you my final thoughts. I'll also give you some size comparisons to some bots I have here off camera. Now, what I did before I get him back into robot mode, if some of you don't have this particular panel upgrade kit to cover up these holes, because when you transform him, you're left with this ugly gap when he's in robot mode. What I did with this particular upgrade kit is I took the screw, put a little bit of crazy glue on it, screwed it in while the panel was in this position just to tighten it up, so that this way the screw stops in a certain place that will cause this panel to fall down like so that this way it stays as flush as humanly possible. Because this thing will just spin and spin and spin. You don't want it to do that. You kind of want it to kind of ratchet in, so to speak, and then you give it a little push and then boom, you're good to go. I mean, mine doesn't line up exactly perfect. Even on this side, it doesn't line up too well, but it's a lot better. And as you can see, I kind of have to nudge it up just a little bit, but I wanted that so that this way when I turn this down, it clicks. Well, it kind of clicks. There we go. It clicks and then it stays in place. It may not. All right, there we go. Now it worked this time. Of course, I'm on camera. What else is new? But you kind of want to get it to lock in place is the point. So you're kind of putting a little bit of positive pressure on this, and once you get the screw to where you're comfortable, this should really sit well, which covers up that hole. So anyway, let's continue with the transformation, and I'll give you some size comparisons and my final thoughts. So Grimlock here is a lot of fun. He's very animation accurate. I mean, even the robot junk on the back that you see, the dino junk on the back, that's actually accurate to the cartoon in a lot of ways. So when it comes to his kibble, it's easy to look past it because you do see it in the cartoon, and I'm really not going to worry about any of that. I mean, I'm very happy I got this guy in my collection. Somewhere down the line, I may hunt out the other Dinobots and get them upgraded as well, but for right now, I'm completely content having Grimlock. He's so much fun. Wheelie here, I forgot who the maker was or is of this particular third-party Wheelie. I would highly suggest you grab one of these. But again, he's very finicky. It takes a while to get him to stand up on his own vices. You may want to use a little bit of joint stuff here and there because he is very finicky, but I know a lot of you aren't fickle with your Transformers, so, you know, it's up to you to do what you want with your Wheelie. I can't stand the factory Wheelie that came with this guy. That's why, you know, I got this guy here. But anyway, we're going to compare Wheelie and Grimlock to some other action figures here. Let's move Grimlock and Wheelie over. So here's my missing link Bumblebee for size comparison. This is my Studio Series Bumblebee right here. And then we'll compare the two of them to some primes I got off to the side. Here's Legacy Prime, which I talked about here on the channel for size comparison. Let me just get them to stand up. There we go. Let's get these a little bit more centered. How about that? As you know, I don't script my videos because I like to have fun when I do this kind of stuff. Doesn't need to be super serious all the time. Then, of course, we have the Devastation Optimus Prime, which I've really started to appreciate a lot more, especially now that I've got him upgraded and how I've modified his tanks right here to get them to be a little bit more screen accurate. And plus, you know, with all the upgrades and stuff, he just looks a lot better. I'm also aware, I think one or two of you commented that there's a new upgrade kit for his arms. I've already upgraded this guy and modified him enough. I don't think I want to go out of my way to spend another $25 to $30 on an upgrade, because by that point, this is going to be like a $100 action figure, so I don't know if I'm going to go that route. I just don't know. And then, of course, we have Earthrise Prime right here, which I'm still kind of like, I'm not a fan of War for Cybertron, to be honest with you. But this Prime is not that bad. He's okay until, of course, we get to Studio Series 86 Optimus, which by far is the ultimate Optimus. I've already upgraded mine. He's got the new Akai or Achi Studios head upgrade, which I talked about. Of course, he's got the panel upgrades on the back of his legs that I've already talked about in a previous video. I've also flipped around his heels and what have you. So that's all done. I've already talked about this guy. He is by far one of the coolest, best-looking primes I have in my collection. I've really got to say it. And then we have to show him. I haven't shown him on camera, except for one review that I did as far as the replacement head is concerned. Yeah, Rodimus Prime. We got to show Rodimus a little love. I mean, come on, he's got a brand new head sculpt. You know, a brand new head upgrade, which I already did a review of here on the channel. But his head looks a lot better than that worn out, drug addict, 90-year-old head looking, whatever that was. This head sculpt looks much better. I think this is Akai or Achi Studios. Again, forgive me if I'm butchering the name, but that's a much better head sculpt. That's the same maker. Where's my Optimus? That made this head sculpt right here. Same company. Same maker. And it's ABS plastic and not 3D printed, which is kind of neat. So, but anyway, there you have it. Transformers Studio Series Grimlock, which has been upgraded, along with a brand new Wheelie, which I head swapped And where is Wheelie's slingshot? Because I stole that slingshot from the factory Wheelie. Let's just make sure Wheelie's got his slingshot. There you go. So there is Grimlock in all of his dino glory. What an amazing, amazing figure. Thank you so much, everybody, for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications. If you are interested in new sports cards and various other items, check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. Across the board, you are all amazing. I am your host, the Carolina Collector. Take care, God bless, stay safe, and I will see you all very soon.